YouTube bound community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggins, and we are here today to talk about the Beach Boys 2012 Record Store Day release, Surfin' Safari 409. Isn't it time? From there to back again. This was a 10-inch record released for Record Store Day, the Black Friday version of Record Store Day in 2012. At the tail end of their 50th anniversary reunion tour, reunion album, reunion breakup. 2012 was a crazy year, guys. This is a really cool release. They set this up in a really nice gatefold style sleeve, so you get some, you get their first single and then their most recent single at that time, might be their last, but so you got some 60s-esque pictures here, and on the back you got them now with a really bulky looking, jacked up owl down there. Just must have been working out, I guess. And it opens up like a school portfolio you would have gotten back in the day with put your name up there, there's some pictures, and you got some cool, useful facts about their top 10 singles there. And a nice picture of the guys from 2012. So this thing's fun. I mean, it's not anything, earth-shaking or newsworthy, but I wanted to talk about it because I like talking about the Beach Boys. I bet you guys didn't see that one coming. So this thing opens with Surfin' Safari, and I really like the mix. It's mono, 409, and this track is in mono. But the drums are so lively on this. I can't tell what era this mix is from, but it sounds excellent. The bass is really tight. The solo was really shimmery on the guitars to the point where you can almost maybe make out the pick hitting the strings. The track separation, the audio separation on this thing is fantastic. So I'm not sure who was in charge of that one, but it sounds great. 409, I think is 409 is exactly the same way. The engine rev in the beginning, it's still exciting. It's always fun to hear that. The harmonies are really crisp, and I think that's the focus, the center of this track in particular. The instruments are there for sure, but I think they really centered the vocals on this one. So, great track. Isn't It Time is the single mix, which I really like a lot. The album version I think is fantastic too, but the single mix is just fun. I like that intro. I like the vocal intro to it. Brian comes in with his lead, and Mike does his doobie doobie bass thing in the background. The hand claps are fun. The feel good vibe is there. It's just an excellent song. It really is one of the best songs on that album. It's just a great track. Al has his time capsule voice, so he sounds exactly the same. The group chorus vocals are fun. I think Mike does an excellent bit in the bridge. He's got a really controlled voice during his solos. But I mean, the production on this track is great. I think the drums are really fun, and they sound excellent on this thing. Coming out of the speakers, pretty big sounding drums. But it's done so expertly and beautifully put together. Just a classic song. I think it's up there with some of the Beach Boys' best work. Obviously it's not California Girls, but it's a great song. Then you get from there to Back Again, and holy moly, I vividly remember hearing this song for the first time before That's Why God Made the Radio came out. This was one of the promo tracks to promote the album. And I remember hearing this thing being like, oh my god, if the rest of the album is like this, we've got a classic on our hands, guys. Hold your calls. Meh. But this song in particular, stunning piece of work. Absolute, brilliant, perfect song. It's easily the best song on that album for sure. But it's got the Pet Sound style drum fills throughout this thing. The really sophisticated and layered arrangement throughout this whole track. The dense vocal harmonies. And again, Al's voice. It's like 1965, never stopped. I mean, his voice is just exactly how it was back then. It's insane how he does that. The lyrics are heartfelt and meaningful. It's sung with so much conviction. I love Brian's bit in the bridge. I guess you can call it the bridge, but near the end he pops up. The bop-along feel, the whistling, the changes throughout this track keep it exciting the whole time. And I don't think it's an expected track. I think there's moments where you think you know what's going to happen, but it takes a left turn, which is classic Brian Wilson. But, yeah, just a fantastic song. I can go into more depth about that. I probably will when I do review That's Why God Made the Radio, which will probably be my last album review ever, I think. I'll save that for another 50 or 60 years from now. So this came out November 23rd, 2012. There was only 3,000 copies of this thing made, so they're out there. They're not super hard to find. But it's 10-inch, and let me show you the actual album. Or record, I guess you can call it. It's pretty cool. They did it to make it look like a 50s 78. So they gave it the old school purple capital label like in the 50s. I mean, it's not the exact version of what existed back then. It's slightly different, but you get the point. I like it a lot. It's also, you got the Brother Records logo on there as well. But, I mean, you know, this kind of capped off the year for them in 2012. You know, only a couple of months before this came out, they did their last concert together at Wembley Arena, September 28th in London. And that's how the tour ended, and that was it. I mean, they had a humongously successful tour, you know, with the original guys, and I was lucky enough to see him on that tour, so it's a very special time for sure. And, yeah, that was a fun year to be a Beach Boys fan. There was stuff coming out all over the place. There was that Walmart zine thing that came out. There was the QVC special CD that came out. Obviously, the album itself. The tour. They were on TV a bunch. They were on Jimmy Fallon. This thing came out. It was a fun time to be a Beach Boys fan. And to see them get together, they had a big spread in Rolling Stone that year. So it was a cool time to be a Beach Boys fan. And so this thing's pretty special for me because it kind of captures a little unique piece of that time. So that's it. I'm going to give this thing a 10 out of 10. Yeah, let's do it. 10 out of 10, you guys. Great songs. 4 absolute smash songs. So you got their first single from back in the day and their new stuff. So it's cool to have David Marks basically be on both sides of this thing. It's fantastic. Yeah, so that's it. My name is Giggins. This has been the Beach Boys, Surfin Safari 409. Isn't it time? From there to back again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.